Hey guys, I'm Ibreez.
And I'm Ibrahim.
And as you know, we both run Road to UK. So today's video is going to be about the life, liberty, and pursuit of your Road to UK. What we thought we'd do in this video is kind of give you an update on what we've been up to and what Road to UK has been up to. And I know everyone's really frustrated about everything that's been happening pandemic-wise. So this is kind of a little video to lighten the mood and make you realize that there's always going to be hurdles and struggles along the way, but it is ultimately worth it because you can come to beautiful places like Newquay, Ibrahim, move out of the way. Look at those cliffs, look at that ocean side. A lot of times people ask us, well, do you guys even get time off? Do you get time to do things? You've got to make the time. Wouldn't you say so? Like if you feel like you just don't want to do anything ever and you're like, well, I'll just go to work and come home, it's not going to be very much fun. And the United Kingdom affords you a lot of opportunities. You get your weekends off, you get bank holidays off for the most part. If you don't get a bank holiday off, they give you another day off in lieu. I mean, you get vacation days. So it's up to you to spend the days the way you want to spend them.
And to add to this, actually, everything that you can go inside the United Kingdom itself, to think about it, it's not that far.
No, it really isn't.
If you have 3-day weekend, like if you have Friday off and you have Saturday and Sunday off as well, you can easily go into Friday morning, spend the rest of the day in Friday wherever you went, spend the entire Saturday roaming around, and Sunday you come back. So it's really easy to plan, and that's what we had done pre-pandemic, and now it all started slowly. We just started going out.
To get to Newquay. It's really nice because Cornwall's got this thing for £9 you can get on and off the bus throughout the entire Cornwall region. So we just kind of been bus hopping for most of the day. And our final destination for this journey will be Newquay, which is why where are we? Which town is this? Padstow. And then we're off to Newquay, which is a coastal place in Cornwall. Basically, the entire southwest is fairly coastal, so it's not like you won't find an area that's not sunny. Like, look how beautiful this day is. Sunny climes, no clouds. lot of times you guys also might be wondering, well, okay, sure, I get that we have days off, but how do I go about asking for those days off? What do I need to do? How soon should I be asking it? It's really a good idea as soon as you start with your first job or any job in the NHS that you know who your rota coordinators are and you go through your trust policy. So typically it's like you need to let them know at least 4 to 6 weeks in advance about when you want to take your days off. What we like to do before we even start a rotation is before even they've made the proper rota, if we already know what days we would want off, we go ahead and we email the rota office about it, because that pretty much guarantees that we get our time off. And especially sometimes when Ibrahim and I are in different departments, that way we can kind of make sure that our schedules align and we can take vacation days off.
Yeah. And I think what happens sometimes is that the rota system might work differently in different hospitals. Like sometimes a registrar might be responsible managing the annual leaves of the junior doctors, and they liaise with the rota coordinator to give you the annual leave. So basically, whenever you start a job in your department, you have to make sure that you exactly know who you should go and ask for the study leave and annual leaves. Who is the person that you need to ask? And whenever you're pointed towards that person, write them an email, like, you already must have your rota, and find the days that you need the leave, and you ask. The most important thing is, if you don't ask for it, nobody will actually give it to you. Right? That's the thing. It's like, kind of like a first come, first served basis. Like if you ask for the days off, you get it. And somebody else asks for the days off when you're already approved, they will have to, make sure adjustment. So each department should have the minimum number of doctors working in a specific day, which is called the core number of the day. So the rota team actually lift this weight of managing how many doctors should work in a specific day, taking into account annual leave, study leave, sick leaves, and all the other stuff. So it's really important to plan your leave yourself before you start a rotation and ask for it prior to that.
Like for instance, so we're going to be changing over into new rotations in August. We've already asked for most of our annual leave.
Yeah.
We only have a couple of days that we've left in our hand that we can just tack on as and when we feel like it. But this way, not only does the rota office stay happy with you, but then you're happy as well, because now you know, all right, like I want these many days off in this month, and I can plan my vacation, and I don't have to stress out, 6 months in advance about getting tickets or anything like that, because I've already planned for it. Now, obviously, guys, there's a pandemic. So a lot of stuff is not going the way you want it to go when it comes to annual leave. So you're wondering what you can do, especially if you just started, in the NHS, you're new to the UK, and you're like, well, where am I supposed to go if I can't go home? Find out wherever you're living, what are the areas of natural beauty, what are the coastal regions, what are the places that lots of people go to just for a simple, what do they call it here? Mini break. like a vacation that they take on the weekend. They just go away for a couple of days. So for instance, like for Newquay, like we said, it's like an hour west of Plymouth, so it's not that far away, and it's really pretty. It gives us the opportunity to see a lot of different sites. There are a lot of caves here.
Yeah.
A lot of really nice, pretty beaches. A lot of surfing happens out here. There's rock climbing, I think, too.
Exactly.
So there's lots of stuff to see, and we're going to try and spend these 2 days doing just that, just roaming and exploring and finding out what's different here. I want to say, and I know I'm coming really biased because we live down here in the Southwest, but literally this whole Cornwall, Devon region, I don't know if we would even have enough time to see all of it, because there's so much down here to actually see. And then, of course, with things that you can do like Airbnb experiences or just local stuff that people are doing, things to get involved with so that you feel like you're part of something extracurricular outside of the mundane 9 to 5 or the on-calls or your weekends or boring stuff like that.
I think what Ibreez is trying to say in a long way.
Live your life.
Exactly. There is so much to do outside being a doctor in the UK because you have enough time. And I think that's really, really important. The working hour and the life outside of work, and to go out and see new places and have new experiences, it actually recharges you to go back. And for the first few days you feel bad, like, why do I have to come back to work? But that's the part of life. But at the same time, you can get away from work and have these wonderful adventures as well.
I kind of feel like jumping on this rock and shouting Carpe Diem. I don't know if any of y'all have seen Dead Poet Society, but literally, Carpe Diem. We should probably pause now because the rain's starting to come down.
recording a video.
What? No.
Why not?
Get there first.
Okay, let's get there first. I'm gonna put this in the video.
I know it may seem like we've been rambling about everything that we've been doing while we're on vacation, but really guys, I mean, these 2 years into our internal medicine training, we had a lot of expectations about what we wanted to do. A lot of courses, a lot of seminars, conferences, training opportunities that were completely missed, things that we wanted to do for our portfolio that we couldn't do. So, I mean, I think the thing you've got to always remember is just because you're not able to do something now doesn't mean you can't do it later on.
Exactly. The time is not running out. I mean, time is running out. But the thing is, to see the perspective that it's not a rat race. I think that's what we're trying to say in a very convoluted way. Like, you know, if you couldn't achieve something at some point in your life, that doesn't mean that opportunity is missed forever. So you can try it later on. You couldn't get into training this year, that doesn't mean that you cannot ever get into training.
Exactly. It's not like there are age restrictions or some sort of limitation.
I think that's the, how do I say it? I think that's the key message I want to give all the international medical graduates, that it's not a rat race in the United Kingdom. Your year of graduation, your employment gaps and everything means little if you have the things that is put down in their person specification.
Yeah.
And in interview, if you can present yourself to be a competent individual, those things means very little.
You'll find once you start working in the NHS, a lot of your British colleagues will really want to take their time. After they finish foundation years, after they finish FY1, FY2, sometimes they'll take a gap year of what they call FY3 or even FY4, FY5, basically where they just kind of think about moving into training.
Yeah,
they work, yes,
exactly.
they're working as maybe as either non-training doctors at trust grade levels, or they're doing locums, but they aren't rushing themselves into getting into a consultancy post. I actually don't know any consultant who's like, oh man, yes, from day one, I really wanted to run and become a consultant. A consultant's life comes with its own stress and responsibilities. Not to say that you shouldn't aspire towards doing that later on, but enjoy the journey. The journey is the most important part. You're going to be a consultant for a much longer time than you will be a trainee. So why not enjoy the trainee process? You're still getting paid to do what you want to do. You have, of course, study budgets, other opportunities to do a lot of things, and your schedule will not be as hectic at this level, so you can really take your time, do less than full-time training if you want. Think about traveling. Think about other, research opportunities, publications that you can do at your own pace. No one's asking you to be cutthroat. No one's asking you to, unnecessarily put a ton of stress on yourself. Just have fun. I mean, we can't even imagine. It's like we're almost, 3 years into being in the UK. Come August, they're going to let us be medical registrars.
Yeah, it will be the IM3 year, so the new start of internal medicine training. And they have designed it that way that in our third year would be transitioning into roles of being a medical registrar. So it covers like the whole breadth of internal medicine, basically general internal medicine. And yeah, I'm quite...
They're going to keep us pretty well supported. The whole reason they did this was before, when it was core medical training, it was just 2 years and they expected you to go in as an ST3 and that was it. You were there, you were a medical registrar. But they're going to have us supported by medical registrars who've already been there for some time. We have some shadowing days that we'll do before we officially move over in August. And of course, there's never going to be a reason for us not to be able to still ask for help. Just because you're the medical registrar doesn't mean you've got to be the superhero of the hospital. Although oftentimes they do feel like they're the ones who are making sure the hospital doesn't completely collapse. Like, no offense to any other registrars out there, but come what may, whenever there's a really difficult situation, everyone's like, call the med reg. And I just also want to say, if any of y'all are calling me in the next year, so I already apologize in advance if it just seems like I'm squeaking on the other side of the phone when I
No,
answer, this is Ibreez medical registrar, and then you tell me the problem and I'm like, oh my god.
I think there's a bit of another information that I want to give as well. Not each and every specialty for medicine specialty doesn't have to go through IM3 year. Like the specialties which are in group 2 specialties, which are non-acute, non-hospital specialties, they don't have to take this IM3 year. If they complete their curriculum by the time of IM2 and they get a satisfactory outcome, they can actually peel away from the training program with a completed outcome and apply for ST3 of those specialties. But acute specialties like, say, gastroenterology, respiratory, cardiology, renal medicine, those kind of specialties will require you to complete this IM3 year in this new curriculum. And this IM3, basically, as I said, it's just making you transition into a medical registrar, because some specialties you have to be a medical registrar, because the medicine specialties in the UK are dual curriculum. Like, if you are becoming a gastroenterologist, you're also becoming a general medicine specialist.
Yeah.
So there are days, or there are competencies that you have to obtain as a general medicine consultant, at the same time gastroenterology consultant. Same goes with, I think cardiology will transform into in future, but I'm not sure about that. But that's what you have to look into. If you want to choose any medical specialty, you have to see whether this medicine specialty is coupled with general internal medicine as well. So a lot of the consultants that we work with, they are basically dual, certified. They're at the same time general medicine specialist and also diabetes or endocrinology specialist, also renal specialist at the same time general medicine. They can work in acute internal medicine department where they see unselected patients, all types of medicine patients. Also, they work in their specialized unit, which is, say, renal medicine, say, respiratory medicine, and see specialized patients as well. So, specialty training in the UK, a lot of people complain about, oh, it's so long, it's 7 years, 6 years. The fellowship portion, if you say so, from ST4 to ST8 or ST6, 7, whatever the year is basically not only one single specialty, and that is why probably it takes longer.
That is why it takes longer. And again, if you get bogged down by how many years it is, you're not going to have any fun, because it doesn't matter. If you keep thinking, oh my god, it's going to be this many years, it's not short anywhere because you decided to become a doctor. It's very unfortunate. Yes, I know. I remember when I was still in med school, I had friends finishing their business degrees, finishing their engineering degrees. Yeah. And I was just like, what in the world? I'm still in med school.
I'm still in med school, and my friends are basically earning 6-figure salaries and everything.
And what good did it do for me to lament on that fact? Absolutely nothing, because then I finished and I was working as well. So it's like that for every part of, I think, our progression in training and career, because we are literally doing a job where it's life or death. And I wouldn't necessarily want to do something too quickly if it meant I wasn't actually understanding the entire process, actually understanding what I could and could not do. I enjoy as much as possible to do as many procedures as I can. Even if my portfolio says, oh, you've done enough of these procedures, you don't actually need to do any more to show in your portfolio. If I still have the opportunity, I will do them, because it's a good skill to have. Even if you're in a tertiary hospital where somebody else can do that procedure for you, if you have the option to do it, or at least see it done, or at least practice it, have it in your back pocket. These are not lost things. You should always be able, at least in my opinion, to know how to do a lot of really basic bits of invasive medicine when it comes to maybe putting in a chest drain or maybe doing an acidic drain. If that's something that you are going to be looking forward to doing at some point, even as a medical registrar, when we worked in a district hospital, the med registers were doing all of that. You don't want it to be that, oh, I only remember doing it once as a CMT or as an IMT because that was part of my curriculum and then I never did it again. Medicine, you never stop learning. I still feel like I'm in school sometimes. You feel like your workday is actually a little bit more of you just attending a practical portion of your medical college day, because it is about learning. Every day is an opportunity for you to learn something else. So don't miss out on those opportunities by thinking it's going to be too long, or this isn't really what I thought it was going to be because I only want to be a consultant this quickly. It's more about taking in every step and every part of what you're learning. If you're already somebody who's very well experienced, if you're a consultant and you're like, how do I fit into this here? At least try and see what a consultant here does before thinking this is some role that you want to directly step into, because like I said, it comes with a lot of responsibilities. You can see in our Ask a Consultant videos, exactly. I don't think we have a single...
Yeah, we're trying, because we're really trying to expand our Ask a Consultant series on YouTube. where we interview different specialties consultants and talk about their progression in career and their perspective of what their specialty is. And I think that's very important for any doctor, despite their IMGs or even UK graduates who wants to work as a consultant in the UK. They would be very much helpful with that series, and we try to reach to the consultant. As I know, I wish that I would have reached as many different type of consultant as I could.
Yeah.
But you have to understand, we work full time.
And then the consultants are also very busy.
Exactly.
We tell them, like, you know, let us know when you're free, and they're like, well, I'm not going to be free for 6 months, and we're like, okay, that's fine. We'll wait 6 months. But at least, and some of our videos are like that. These are consultants that we've asked maybe a year ago, but this is the date that they were free in their schedule. So we hope you enjoyed Newquay with us as much as we enjoyed Newquay. We're going to take advantage of this beautifully sunny day today, see a couple more beaches, walk across a couple more cliffs, and see what else is happening in some of these caves. But until next time, guys, please continue to follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter. And we hope you do always stick with us on your road to UK. And if any of y'all are ever in the UK, you know where to find us. Bye.
Thank you.